I've been in Lisbon, Portugal for 1 month, and here's everything you need to know, including how much I've spent. So grab your popcorn because it's about to get real good. My name is Lauren. I've been traveling full-time for the past 2 years while working remotely, and every month I go to a new place. Now, the costs that I'm about to share aren't super budget, but it's also not like mega luxury. I'd say it's right down the middle. If you haven't been to Portugal, you need to come. It's honestly my favorite city out of everything I've seen while traveling because it's so livable. And to me, it just feels like home ever since the first time I came, which was in 2016. Clearly, the same thing has happened to dozens and millions of people because now Portugal is filled with expats, digital nomads, and people who have left their country to make this place their home because it's honestly so good. You'll see what I mean later on. While the main language is Portuguese, I feel like everyone now speaks English, which was definitely not the case when I first came to do my study abroad. Now you can definitely get around with just English, but just as a common courtesy, it's so appreciated if you learn a couple of the basic words, and honestly, it's so easy to look it up or have it on your phone with Google Translate nowadays that there's really no excuse, and the locals appreciate the fact that you're trying. While ChatGPT and Google are going to tell you the same 5 places that honestly all the other vlogs also recommend, which are going to Belém and having the pastéis, the nata over there, the main commerce, taking the tram, going to Sintra, and the castles and monasteries. I'm going to give you 5 non-touristy things that are so worth the experience while you're here. Number 1, going to Cascais. If it's summer, you can have a beach day, and all you have to do is take the tram from Cais do Sodre, and the last stop will be Cascais, where you can enjoy beaches and walk along the boardwalk. I don't necessarily recommend going to that main beach in Cascais where you get off because it gets so packed, but if you start taking the boardwalk and start walking, there's tons of beaches every step along the way. If you come and it's not beach weather, then I recommend coming on a weekend because they have the Cascais market with tons of food, fruit, flowers, and other vendors. It's an amazing experience, and then you can walk around the center. There's so many restaurants and they're all so good. My personal favorite is called Marítimo. Number 2, take a sunset sailing trip to see the bridge from the water, and honestly, you pass through all of Lisbon's like most iconic landmarks, but you see them from a place where not that many people can see it, which is so cool. We just did this time while my mom was here for her birthday, and it was such a great experience. It is a little touristy, but it's nothing like all the other places where you'll literally be standing in line filled with all the other tour guides, like nothing at all. And these sailboats can take max like 10 people, so it feels super intimate, cozy. If the weather's a bit cold, like they have blankets, it's perfect to do year round. I booked it via Airbnb, and the direct link to the one that I booked is going to be inside the full Lisbon travel guide. Number 3, eat. Lisbon is home to some of the best cuisine and restaurants that I've tried, literally comparing it to the rest of the world. And not only typical Portuguese food, which is so good, but in general, the food here is delicious. My favorite Italian place is called Vesuvio. For breakfast, honest greens. Well, honestly, for any type of meal, honest greens. It's the place to go. It's so good. For burgers, the Dallas Burger Joint. For tacos, it's called Tacos La Malquerida. So good. And the list goes on and on. So make sure to check out the travel guide for the rest of my recommendations because I have a ton. If you're coming for a couple of days, I highly recommend staying near the Cais do Sodre or Santos station. That area has everything. It's super walkable, and in my opinion, it's where you have the best coffee shops and restaurants. My second favorite area to stay around would be Alfama, which is more classic and has more history. It's still very walkable. Honestly, anything in like the Lisbon center is going to be walkable. And third, if you've been to Lisbon before, then I recommend staying in the Cascais or Estoril area. That's where I'm currently staying right now. The Lisbon center is less than like a 20 euro Uber ride. I can also take the tram directly there in like 30 minutes for less than 3 euros. I have the beach less than 1 minute away with this long boardwalk that connects all the beach towns all the way down to Cascais. There's tons to do here, and it's just in general super nice. As a female, safety is a huge topic that I always like to discuss because while I do currently travel with my partner, I'm huge on people, especially females, doing solo trips. And of course, like we want to make sure that we feel safe. Lisbon was the first place that I traveled to alone, and I would do it again a million times. I feel completely safe here and would recommend anybody do their first solo trip here. And in general, like if you're thinking, is it safe? Should I go? It's very safe. Now, let's jump into the cost, which I love sharing because before I started traveling, I would always watch videos and wonder like, okay, but how much does this cost? Like, how much are people spending? How much does it cost to eat there, to buy groceries? Like all these things that nobody really talks about. So if you like seeing the cost breakdown, hit the subscribe button so I can know. YouTube analytics literally tells me how many people have subscribed from this video in specific. So that's how I'll know to keep doing the cost breakdown for every city that I go to. So I have my computer here with everything broken down already by categories. Of course, we're going to start off with probably the biggest chunk and the part that everybody wants to know about, which is obviously where do you stay? Like how much does it cost to stay in Lisbon, whether it's a hotel, an Airbnb? In my case, since I do 1 month in each place, I always go for Airbnb instead of hotels. Number one, because you get a huge discount. Like the price goes down by over 40% in basically every city, anywhere you go, just because it's a long-term stay. That's honestly, in my opinion, what Airbnb was kind of going for when they made the platform, especially now that they're adding so many new features. Like it's really incentivizing for you to stay long term in a place. Even if you just stay more than 7 days, you get a discount. Second of all, obviously, if I'm staying a month, like I need to be comfortable, not just one hotel room, but an actual kitchen. I'm going to give you guys a tour. It's a little messy, so please disregard, but just so you guys get an idea of what the space looks like, and obviously so that you guys understand the price. This is pretty big space. There's 2 of us. There's 1 bedroom, 1 bath. This is actually a sofa bed where my mom stayed at now that she came to visit. There's a kitchen, like I mentioned, which is a huge thing for us. Working space, because I travel, but I do work and I work full time. So we need places to work from. Now, drum roll. The cost for 1 month here in Portugal through Airbnb came out to $2,026. Next, we go down to this category that obviously isn't going to apply to everyone. Beauty. For the first time ever, I got Botox. So obviously it's a hefty chunk. It was my first time doing it, and I highly, highly recommend the place that I went to. It's called MP Clinic. The doctor there was so nice, so great. My mom came and I brought her there too. I love the results. I'm going to put like a before and after picture so you guys can see. But obviously that was a huge chunk that isn't going to apply to you if you're not looking to get Botox. If you are looking, I would recommend it. I liked my experience, but obviously that doesn't apply to everyone. And in there is also like hair salon and things like that. Next, we go down to dining, which is another big category. This total came out to $765.07. I would say for 1 month, we're the type of people that we like to go out and eat. Like that's one of our main activities while we travel around. Like we're foodies at heart, but we're not eating out every meal. Since we have a kitchen, and since we also work full time, we normally have like a lunch, which is just like protein and a salad. And then for dinner is when we'll go out, we'll walk around, and that's like our time to explore the city. And obviously the weekends is fully eating out. Now, entertainment, $335.56. This includes the sailboat trip, which I booked for 3 people via Airbnb, and just little things along the way that we've done this month. Groceries. Groceries came out to $583.17, which honestly, compared to other places, is a very, very good price. Last month we were in Albania, and that video is up here. And I remember, let me pull it up, because I remember that one was actually more, which everyone says like Albania, like it's so cheap, this and that. Like I don't really agree. And I just pulled it up for Albania, the same exact time. Like I don't think we're eating any different. It was a full month just like this one was. We spent $702.29. So I honestly think Portugal and Spain have really good prices for produce and fruits and meats. And one friend actually told me it's because a lot of things grow here that their grocery prices are just like a lot better than the other places in Europe. I don't know if that's true. That's just one theory. Now we continue along the list with massages. Of course, another very optional, like this does not apply for everyone category. This came out to $280.57. This includes us going to the massage place 2 times. We found a really good place right here. It's called Thai Sensation, that they actually have all over Lisbon. And the one here, I loved it. Like one of the best massages that I've had. I walked out like I was on cloud 9. And in this category, it also includes a visit to the head spa. I don't know if you guys have seen on TikTok where they put like those lights and they clean out your scalp. Well, I was so excited because I found a place here in Portugal. So I booked my appointment. Like I was so pumped. And I get there and it just didn't live up to the hype. I think this one was just kind of like for the lights, like the viral effect of it, and not like the actual, okay, head spa, let's clean your scalp. Because I've seen that other places, they show you your scalp, like the buildup and everything before and after, and like it's this whole procedure. This one was not like it, so I'm not recommending it. Like, it's not going inside the travel guide, but it obviously is here in what we spent this month. Next category, we're moving down to pharmacies, which came out to 125.06 cents. Now, normally we don't spend that much in pharmacy. Let me compare it to Albania. Pharmacy in Albania was $19. Like, normally we don't spend that much on pharmacy. I would say this cost mainly goes to like skincare products that I bought just because I was running out, but obviously it's not needed. What I did notice is that the whole medical and health topic here is very good. You walk into any pharmacy, you take a number, and you actually go up to them for anything. Like, even if you're looking for like skincare products, like you ask them for it and they'll give you their best recommendations. Like, it feels like such a human to human approach. Like, even if you're feeling sick, you've got like a little bit of a stomach virus, so I went and like they give you like a full recommendation. It's not like you fending for yourself trying to find the best thing. No, it's really like top of the line service, which I really appreciate. Next, we go down to scooter rental. I rented one electric scooter this month because while this boardwalk is very walkable, to get to Cascais, it's kind of like a 40-minute walk, which is lovely when you're trying to get in your steps. But I like going to the gym every morning, and the gym was in Cascais, so I was like, let me just get a scooter, which here, scooter and public transport driven, like it's so easy to get around. So that cost goes in there for 137 with 64 cents. And moving down to shopping, 511 and 69 cents. Again, I wouldn't say this is like a normal travel cost that we have. This is mostly because we are currently in October here in Lisbon, so it is getting a little chillier, and we're coming from islands. Like, we're in bikinis and shorts every day, so we needed to get some clothes. So that's mostly clothes, and then Gabe buying running shoes and just sports stuff because he did just complete the Ironman here in Cascais this month. So obviously he needed to get all his supplements and all those things like that. So that's where that cost goes into this month. And then down to transportation, we have a total of $447.26, and this includes Ubers, lots and lots of Ubers, which to move around Lisbon, it's usually like a 5 to 10 euro Uber. Like, it's very low cost, but obviously if you're using it every single day, it adds up. So that's the total, and that also includes metros that we've taken. We also buy like the metro card that you need to get around, so obviously it still adds up. But that brings our total for an entire month, 2 people here in Portugal, to $5,661.35. Now, if we removed a lot of the things that were like more personal basis, the total would be $4,157.06. If you want to keep seeing cost breakdown for all the cities I visit, make sure to hit that subscribe button so I know, because I can see exactly the people that will come from this video, and that'll be my sign to just keep doing it. Don't forget to check out the full Lisbon guide. It has all of my recommendations and things you don't normally find on Google. These travel guides I like making from my experience of living an entire month in each place, so that when you come, whether it's for a week, whether you're coming from a cruise and you have 8 hours, you know exactly what to do. So you don't go to the tourist traps, but the places that are actually worth exploring. That's all for now. I'll see you right back here on this same channel next time. Bye-bye.